Joining me today is Professor of History, Jim Walsh at New England College. So Jim, so I discovered, all right, July 2nd, I could be celebrating the holiday. I celebrated on the 4th because that's when the draft was printed. And it was really, the Declaration of Independence was really signed in August 2nd. So I got 3 holidays I could celebrate. But I want to go back to the very beginning before we digressed. The fireworks. You were explaining Guy Fawkes and the fireworks.
Right.
No matter what day I get to celebrate it, I want fireworks. So how did that, tell me more about that.
Well, if you recall, we talked about the fact that Guy Fawkes Day was transplanted to America by our English ancestors.
And by the way, who is Guy Fawkes? Real shortly.
Guy Fawkes was the first conspirator in the gunpowder plot that was captured. Tortured to find information. He revealed the names of the rest of the co-conspirators. Their plan was to blow up Parliament in November of 1606.
Okay, so
1605.
1605. So Guy Fawkes.
He was caught. He was eventually executed with all the other conspirators that were caught.
And why was he trying to blow up Parliament?
He was Catholic.
Okay, so it's a religious sort of.
Well, the Catholics were very put upon in Elizabethan England, and although they had hoped to see that loosened up under the Stuart James I, it didn't happen, and they decided to get rid of the Stuarts and the Protestant-dominated Parliament with one fell swoop. So on the opening day of Parliament, their intention was to blow them all up.
Okay. Well, so I don't want to digress too far.
Right.
But so at least we got the context of the Guy Fawkes.
Sure.
And the English celebrated
the Protestant English celebrate the capture of and the foiling of the plot with bonfires at night and burnings in effigy of Fawkes and/or the Pope. So that tradition moves all the way from 1605, and it comes to America with the settlers in 1607, and again in 1620 in New England. And New Englanders apparently became very fond of bonfires. They used bonfires for most kinds of celebrations, certainly their Guy Fawkes Day celebration. And so when it came time to celebrate July 4th, what's better than a bonfire, especially in New England? So they would build, and these are probably the largest recorded bonfires in history. They built bonfires in Salem, for instance, on Gallows Hill, the place where they executed witches back in 1691. And so they built bonfires out of casks and barrels, empty casks and barrels, used stuff, so it's things that have been permeated with rum or whatever. And they built them into pyramids as high as 40 barrels high.
So a barrel is 4 feet?
3.5 feet.
Okay.
So you're looking at 40 inches times 40, 16,000 inches divided by 12. It's a pretty damn big bonfire. So they lit those things up, and what can be more fun? You know, you sing patriotic songs, you dance around the bonfire. Well, more fun could be the parade, right? We do parades. And so the earliest known, 1785 in Bristol, Rhode Island, and that parade is still going on today, every July 4th, 1785.
Bristol, Rhode Island has so if you really want to tap into American history, that's
Rhode Island coming up.
That's the big one. Is it right now a particularly big parade?
Well, I don't know how big Bristol is.
I was going to say. I mean, do they know? They must know about it in Bristol. They must.
Yeah,
it must
thousands,
be.
I think I remember hearing there were 40,000 there one year, not too long ago. So it's a big thing. Immediately after the time, nobody really did much. There were guns fired in Washington's Continental Army camp in 1777. They fired off 13 muskets.
One for each.
Right.
Okay.
They held parties. They drank to the health of the nation, not to the king anymore,
yep.
Which was pretty obvious. You know, pretty.
It makes some sense.
They would do that, and then the bonfires replaced that in New England, at least. And then, of course, bonfires dangerous. And once the availability of dependable fireworks came along,
people.
Even in England, they've now converted to fireworks in most places.
Okay.
So the fireworks are the direct inheritors of.
From the bonfires.
Right.
Huh.
Right.
Well, we're out of time in this segment. When we return, we're going to continue our conversation, so please stay with us.